All right, so we go to Northwest. This is Bailey Kilman, I'm Logan Morrow, and this is Brady Orr. They are going to be freshmen, and I'm a sophomore. Like I said, we're at Northwest. And what we're going to be talking about today is our issues with our advisory classes. I know many of you have those advisory classes that you can't exactly stand. So, if you will click. The main issues, and if you guys remember, we took a poll this morning, and I know we didn't have everybody enter, but we got enough data that we needed. So we discovered that the issues that we've had with advisory have been that it's not relevant. We don't always talk about things that we need to know, or that we're really all that interested in knowing. It's also very boring. Most of the times we'll go and we'll sit in our classes and we'll watch another video on how to do your core apps, or we'll watch another video on bullying that's outdated. Yes, these are important topics, but one of the biggest issues we do have is that they're repetitive and outdated. They're not new videos, and we watch the same video over and over again, or we watch a different video on the same topic over and over again. There's no variety. So this just shows the poll that we did today. With the first question was, do you like your advisory class? 22% said that they do in fact like their advisory class, which in all honesty, I don't know how you guys do it because I'm getting really tired of all of this. 5% said that they somewhat like it. There are some good points, but there are also some not so good points. And then the whopping green section, 73%, shows all of us at Northwest and Byron and all of the middle schools that cannot stand their advisory class for the reasons that I listed before.
Okay, our mission is we want students to be engaged. We want them to like learning. We want them to learn stuff that they want to learn about. See, the students want to feel engaged. They want things to be hands-on. They want to learn what they need to learn. So we also, in our poll, one of our other questions was, what would you like to see? And the top three were college readiness, real world knowledge, and tech tips. And they also wanted it to be hands-on and entertaining because I know I would like to be prepared to do my taxes or, apply for a loan and be ready for college and know how to apply and not just go through it, float through them, and when we get there, bang, it hits us and there's nothing you can do. And so we took a poll. In our poll, another question was, what would you like to see? 9 people said they wanted to see tech tips because the stuff that they're showing us now, most people already know how to do because they showed it six times. They've showed the same videos over and over and over again. College readiness, or if you're middle school or high school readiness. And it's just so you're more prepared for what you're going into. And then life lessons, as in taxes or loans or how to apply for a mortgage and just knowing what you're ready for. Now you can click the button.
How to request to what you want that day or whatever you want for the topics. We have not made this yet, but just like the counselor forms where you can request to see the counselors, you can request a topic. And you can submit whatever you would like to see. You don't have to submit something that you've already seen. If you want to re-see it, you can do it again, or you can go see your counselor. Your resources are the new. You can,
For the resources that we use right now, we have our videos, our PowerPoints, and then oftentimes we have an assignment that comes after it to follow to make sure that we paid attention. So one thing that we're hoping to accomplish is that we have these new resources that will actually have tons of student input in it. Maybe a video that we watch next year might be made by one of our own students that, had specific experience with this. Or it might be made by, yes, another teacher, but someone that does this, they know what they're talking about. And then flat out, we just want it to be entertaining. I remember because we have advisory Tuesdays and Thursdays at Northwest. Every Tuesday and Thursday, I dread advisory because we go, we sit down, we put in our headphones, because none of us want to learn about the stuff that we're learning about because it's not entertaining. So, in conclusion, the goal that we're trying to achieve is just a new atmosphere for advisory, something that we all enjoy going to, we all enjoy learning in that class, because it's not a core class and it's only 2 days of the week, but we still have to go. You can't get out of that. So we really just want to be able to go and enjoy what we're doing. As far as sustainability goes, after we graduate, or anybody else that's helping us with this graduates, and the original pioneers of this restart, once we're gone, we're thinking what's going to happen after that. What we're really hoping for is that we inspire everyone else there to continue this on, because how awful would that be if we set it up and we have great advisory classes with great topics, and then we're gone and it goes back to how it was. None of us want that to happen. And basically, that's it. We're just kind of tired of the same old stuff, same videos and same topics.
So we'd like to open up the floor for questions.
I think that your topic is really relevant. I've heard a lot of feedback from all the campuses I've been on that advisory is definitely something that students would like to see changed. You mentioned having students create the content. So aside from that, who's going to be responsible for creating content? What considerations have you made for where the content's going to be hosted, stored, how it's going to be accessed? So in terms of actually getting the content to the students and created, what is your plan for that?
We were thinking, because we have NHS TV, which is ran by AMAT, and they're a big video. One of their big topics is video, and they do the morning announcements. And so we were thinking about going and asking them, hey, if we were to create a video, could we borrow a camera, and then somebody who's knowledgeable about something that we wanted to learn, they would create the video and maybe a couple questions afterwards, or something fun that the kids can do with that assignment.
Or instead of simply just taking the camera, because I know I'm an AMAT, so we're a little bit stingy on who uses what. It's expensive equipment. So we could get a crew, because I know there are tons of students in AMAT who are going to pursue careers in making videos or editing things for companies and other corporations. And so this would be like a short start for them. So it would be interesting to see, how they could help us with that. Okay. And then once all of our resources are made, like we said, whether it be a video or a PowerPoint, which we hope it's not a PowerPoint anymore. Like we said, that's outdated. That'll just be presented to the advisory classes like any of the other ones are. It'll just be more modernized.
Just one quick follow-up. Have you identified who your point of contact is for the advisory lessons, like schedule first off, and second of all, the legal considerations for things like digital citizenship that are required? I know there are things that students are not quite as interested in, but there are some things that are required by the state and federal level that are presented during advisory. So who's going to be your point of contact for communicating those key topics?
Well, we would contact our counselors and maybe our principal, and we could ask them to help us with making this viral at Northwest, and maybe if we get it going at Northwest, maybe it will go to Byron and Eaton and the middle schools.
That way we're in contact with someone that knows the legal obligations that we do have to follow. And it's not just us running it, because after all, we are students, and where we might be educated in some spots, we don't know the whole story because we're not up at an administration level.
Yeah, we would talk to a couple of administrators to get the rules that we had to follow and stuff that they have to learn. And if it's a mandatory topic, just getting somebody that knows a lot about it to make it a little more interesting, so it's not the same old thing. Any other questions?
Yes.
So I go to Byron now, since I don't know if it's the same for Northwest, and those of you probably know more about this question, but I'm involved with the link leaders, and they run the advisory classes, and they're also looking to improve advisory. So do you have an organization at your school that's already looking towards improving advisory?
We actually don't know much about that. That's how unorganized this has become. I think it's the same stuff that we've been doing for years before. We don't have an actual group or organization that runs it besides the new things that we're going to be covering. Yes.
Why do you think that y'all should change it? Because if it's being repeated to y'all, obviously it's important. So why do you think that you should do other things that's not what's already in the advisory curriculum?
Okay, so yes, it is important, but the thing is, we can still cover those same topics. It's just people are putting in their headphones and bringing out a book and not paying attention at all. So they're not getting anything from it because it's boring and repetitive and kids aren't enjoying it. So we're trying to find a way to make it more engaging. It can be the same topics. We just want more student input so that it's more engaging and not the same old boring things over and over and over again.
You want infotainment.
Yes. Precisely. That's
So
exactly.
what, you talked about trying to get a group to do those functional, maybe the videos. So taking and working with the counselors and the leadership team for what curriculum is required under state law, maybe coming up with some folks in AMAT and some of the other kids to do an infotainment of what we actually have to present, and then creating your own stuff so it would be engaging. I mean, obviously it's advisory for a reason. It can't be entertainment,
Right.
but it can be obviously, you could coin the term, use that word, create infotainment videos.
I like that.
I like that. Dang, I just grabbed it. Give me a minute. What is your first step? And I hope I'm not running over time here. But what is your first step? Like, what are you guys going to hit the ground running with in a couple of weeks or in a month or so? What is the first thing that you all think need to happen?
Well, we would like to get a bunch of our administrators on board with a new advisory period because we can't do this by ourselves. Like, I think you brought up the legal stuff. We need someone backing us that knows what we're doing. So I think our first step would be to go to, whether it be our counselors or our APs or even Mr. Childress himself, our first step would be to go to someone that knows what we have to do, and then we can discuss what we can do, and then hopefully branch out from there to see everything else that can follow with that.
So it sounds like you need to create yourself an advocate. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Any more questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.